The galaxy was at peace, or so it seemed. But in the farthest corner of space, a small alien race was facing destruction. They were being attacked by an enemy unlike any other. The aliens were strong, but the enemy was stronger. They had lost their cities, their people, and hope. With no one to turn to, they sent out a call for help. It was a desperate cry, echoing through the stars. Please, they begged. Help us before we are wiped out. The call reached the Galactic Council first. Leaders from powerful, advanced alien races heard it. They read the message and immediately turned their backs. They're weak, they said. They can't fight back. It's a lost cause. No one wanted to risk their own lives for a race that was doomed to fail. One by one, the great powers of the galaxy refused to help. The alien race's hope faded with every unanswered message. Soon, they were alone, and the enemy was getting closer. But then, something unexpected happened. The call reached Earth. At first, the aliens didn't know what to expect. They had never heard of humans being strong or brave. Earth was just another planet in the galaxy, known for its chaos and conflicts. Why would they help? Yet Earth responded. The leaders of Earth didn't hesitate. They knew that humanity was far from weak. In fact, it was the opposite. Humans were survivors. They had fought wars, faced impossible odds, and never gave up. We'll send our best, the humans said. We won't let you fall. And so, Earth's decision was made. They would send their deadliest warriors, the humans who had faced death and come out stronger every time. The aliens had no idea what was coming, but soon they would learn that humanity was more powerful than they had ever imagined. The news spread fast across Earth. The planet's leaders had made a choice, one that shocked everyone. They had decided to answer the alien race's call for help. But this wasn't a simple rescue mission. Earth was sending its deadliest warriors, humans known for their strength, courage, and unbreakable will. The team was made up of the best. They weren't just soldiers. They were fighters, engineers, doctors, and leaders. Every member had proven themselves in battles no one else dared to face. Each one had survived challenges that would have broken others. Among them was Captain Sarah Jones, a veteran of countless wars. Her sharp mind and quick thinking had saved her team more times than she could count. Next was Liam Grant, an expert in weapons and hand-to-hand combat. His strength was legendary, and his ability to stay calm in the worst situations made him a natural leader. Then there was Dr. Emily Zhang, a medical genius who could patch up wounds faster than anyone. She was always ready to risk her life to save others. And lastly, there was Marcus Reed, a strategist whose plans had won battles against impossible odds. The humans prepared for their journey, knowing that the odds were stacked against them. They were facing an enemy no one had ever seen before, in a world far from home. But they didn't hesitate. They packed their gear, sharpened their skills, and boarded their ships. Their mission was clear: save the alien race, no matter what it took. As their ships left Earth's atmosphere, no one doubted their strength. The other galactic races watched from a distance, shaking their heads. They still didn't believe the humans could succeed. They thought humanity was too weak, too primitive. But the humans knew something the rest didn't: they thrived in the face of danger. The more impossible the mission, the harder they fought. And this time, they were ready to prove that no enemy was too powerful when humans decided to fight. When the human team arrived on the alien planet, they were met with silence. The once beautiful world was now scarred by war. The sky was dark, filled with smoke from destroyed cities. The ground was cracked and burned, evidence of the fierce battles fought here. The alien race that had called for help was scared. They had been fighting for years, but they were losing. The enemy was too strong, and their soldiers too few. When the humans arrived, they could see the fear in the eyes of the aliens. The hope they had once felt was almost gone. Captain Sarah Jones stood on the dusty surface, taking in the sight. She could feel the weight of their mission pressing on her shoulders. This wasn't just a fight for survival, it was a fight for trust. The aliens had no reason to believe that humans could help. Most of them saw humanity as weak and unprepared for such a challenge. But Sarah wasn't going to let that stop her. "We have to act fast," she said, turning to her team. "They're running out of time." The team split up, quickly getting to work. Liam Grant took the lead, scouting the enemy's movements and setting up traps. Marcus Reed began planning their strategy, studying the enemy's weaknesses. Dr. Emily Zhang set up a medical station, ready to treat anyone in need. And Sarah? She rallied the alien forces, encouraging them to stand and fight. At first, the aliens were doubtful. They had never seen humans fight like this. They couldn't understand why the humans were so fearless, so willing to sacrifice everything for a race they didn't even know. But the humans didn't stop. They kept fighting, kept pushing forward, no matter how impossible the situation seemed. Slowly, the aliens began to believe. Maybe humans were different. Maybe they could help after all. The humans didn't waste any time. The enemy was coming closer, and every second counted. Sarah and her team had been preparing for this moment since they arrived. It was time to make their move. Liam Grant stood at the front, watching the enemy approach. His heart raced, but his mind was clear. He had been in worse situations before, and he knew exactly what to do. He signaled to his team, and the trap was set. Explosives were hidden in key spots, and the alien forces were ready to attack. When the enemy charged, it was like a storm. Thousands of soldiers, armed and ready for battle, rushed forward with no mercy. But the humans were ready. Liam led the charge, taking down enemy soldiers with swift, precise movements. His strength and speed surprised the enemy, who had never seen humans fight like this. Sarah was close behind, her quick thinking and tactics helping to guide the team. She barked orders to the alien soldiers, organizing them into effective groups. Marcus Reed watched from a distance, his eyes sharp and calculating. He had already predicted the enemy's next move. He called out, directing the humans and aliens to outflank the enemy. The humans used their skills in a way the enemy had never seen. They fought with strategy, not just power. And it was working. But the battle was far from over. The enemy sent their strongest warriors to the front, and the humans found themselves facing their biggest challenge yet. Sarah faced the leader of the enemy forces, a massive warrior with armor that seemed impossible to penetrate. But she didn't hesitate. With one final move, she took him down, her weapons slicing through his armor like it was paper. The tide of the battle began to shift. The enemy's morale started to break. Seeing their leader fall, many of their soldiers began to retreat. The humans had done it. Against all odds, they had turned the battle around. The aliens, who had once doubted humanity, now saw the truth. The humans were not just strong, they were unstoppable. The battle was over, but the cost was high. The ground was littered with fallen warriors, both human and alien. Sarah Jones stood in the middle of the battlefield, breathing heavily. Her body ached, but her heart was strong. They had won. Against all odds, they had done what no one thought was possible. The alien race was saved. Their cities, though damaged, still stood. Their people, who had once been hopeless, now had a chance to rebuild. They owed it all to the humans. Sarah looked around at her team. Liam Grant, bloodied but smiling, gave her a nod of approval. Marcus Reed was already planning their next move, despite the battle being over. Dr. Emily Zhang was busy tending to the wounded, as always. They had given everything for this mission, and they had succeeded. The alien leaders came forward, their eyes filled with gratitude. They had watched the humans fight with unmatched courage, and they knew they owed them more than words could express. "We never believed you could do it," one of them said. "But you proved us wrong. You saved us." Sarah smiled, but her thoughts were already on the future. This battle was over, but there would be more. There always was. And humans had proven that they would rise to the challenge, no matter what. As the human team prepared to leave, the alien race gathered around them. For the first time, they saw the humans in a new light. They weren't just a race of fighters, they were warriors with honor, strength, and heart. They had fought not for glory, but for the survival of others. The other galactic races, who had once laughed at Earth, now watched with respect. They knew that humanity was no longer something to be underestimated. They had proven that they were a force to be reckoned with, and that they would always answer the call when needed. And so, a new chapter began. The galaxy was forever changed, and humanity had earned its place among the stars.